Hi guys, thanks for coming to the school corridor again. Today the big question is all about leadership, and the question revolves around you. Who says that the team wants you as a leader? Are you the best fit for your team? And on what grounds were you appointed as a leader? So today's session will be about the appointment of leaders and what qualifies people to be leaders. Then we will look at some of the core skills or competencies that leaders need to take their teams to great heights. And the last part of the session will be an exercise that you can do so that you can improve and up your game as a leader. To all our newcomers, thanks for popping in. The School Corridor channel is all about leadership, like the one that we're doing today. Then we will also touch on personal well-being, and we have done certain videos on web tools that you can use. So do pop in and see what other videos are available. Now, the session normally requires you to do a little bit of writing, I think. So if you have a pen and paper handy, you can make notes. And if you think you need to just capture something that was mentioned on the video, then you can pause the video and watch the sections that you would like to watch. So while you just organize yourself, we'll be back right after this. Right, let's start right at the beginning. When you were appointed, there was an interview committee that appointed you. Your own team didn't appoint you. And that committee did a very good job because you are in the job today. So what did that committee look for? The first thing I would say is they looked for your practical experience in the field. They tried to get you to demonstrate whether you have the skills and the knowledge and the experience in that particular field that you are in, to see whether you can cope with the work. And then that committee also checked on your people skills by asking you to demonstrate how you would deal with different human relations issues. So now we're sitting with a leader, and congrats to you for that. But your work has just begun. Remember, when you were in your previous job, you were very individual focused to a large extent, and you just had to demonstrate how well you can do the tasks. Now you have an entire team. So there's a big shift. You now have to concentrate on how do you take your team from where they are to a place where they can grow as individuals, grow professionally, and also meet the organizational goals. So in order to do that, you are going to have to set a work culture that encourages people to feel valued, to feel motivated, and to feel empowered. Because those very individuals that you are working with, remember, they come with a basket of skills and they come with certain knowledge. So it's not your job to tell them how to do their work. You must just create the environment and unlock that potential that they have. So the big question will always be about, how can I make a difference here? How can I get my team to take responsibility for what they are doing? How can I help them to see that what they are doing is what they need to take personal pride in? And at the same time, understand that whatever the team members are doing, they have to see that their work is connected to the rest of the team's work. Because together, collectively, whatever the team does is what's going to make it successful. So that is an extremely tall order. You see, at the end of the day, you are a relationship builder. You have to ensure that your entire team becomes a team of shining stars. It's no longer about you. When you operate outside the sphere of a leader, then you concentrate on how well you can do a job. But when you become a leader, it's all about the team. Something that leaders must take cognizance of is that you need a high level of emotional intelligence. In other words, you need to understand yourself very well. You need to know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, so that you can work on your weaknesses and you can share your strengths with others. You see, people are looking up to you, and people are going to see you as their motivator, and you're really going to determine how well people are going to work. So if you choose to use the command and control model, that is not the kind of leadership that we need in today's organizations, you're going to run into serious problems. Because when people are treated like children, when they are treated as if they know nothing and they just need somebody to command them all the time and specify exactly how they must do something, you'll notice that those people will still be polite. Your team will still act politely and decently towards you, because that is what's required in the workplace, but they will demonstrate some kind of passive resistance. They will show you that they're not going to go beyond the call of duty. And that's not what you want. You want people to be working very well and feel that they are responsible for the organization's success. The second quality that I think that leaders need to have is the fact that they need to be very good communicators. You know, you need to be able to spell out the vision of the organization clearly and passionately so that other people can buy into it. And you need to be able to communicate the goals to people so that they know they're not working in a vacuum, that whatever they do is to ensure that the goals of the organization is met. And then if people step out of line, you should be able to discipline people. If people do very well, you're going to have to learn to compliment them. You're going to have to learn to praise people, something that I think leaders tend to downplay. It's just all about work and not telling you how wonderful you are or how amazing you are. So if people are amazing, let them know they are amazing. And then also attached to the communication is that if you have a challenge in terms of dealing with, say, for example, conflict, that you upskill yourself, that you go for training so that you can learn how to mediate those difficult situations that you find yourself in. Because leadership is not a walk in the park, and we all have to grow into it, but we need to be open to that. And that sort of brings me to the third quality that I think leaders must have. Leaders must be able to mentor and coach their teams. If you just watch a soccer club, for example, the coach plays a very important role, because the coach has to analyze each of the players, know the players' strengths, know their weaknesses, and then work out a game plan so that they can help to develop that particular player. And at the end of the day, they are developing the players because they know that the whole team and ultimately the whole organization is going to benefit. And that is what leaders need to do. We need to take the skills that we have, all the knowledge that we have, all the competence we have, and we have to find a way to help other people grow. We have to share that information. We can no longer privatize that knowledge so that we are the people with all the information. We have to share freely, because whenever our team members do very well, when they shine and we reach those goals, then that reflects on your leadership caliber. So we have finally reached the end of this very serious discussion, I think. And we are now ready to move to a place or a point where you can continue this reflective journey, right? So I'm going to give you 3 questions that I'd like you to think about. The one question is, what are you doing to help grow your team? What are the things that you're doing to build your relationships? How are you improving on your communication? What kind of communication channels are you using to make your communication more interesting and more effective? And how are you mentoring and coaching your people, right? Then the second question I'd like you to consider is, what are you not doing, and how are you going to intervene? How are you going to change perhaps those gaps that you have in your leadership, and so that that can benefit the team? And then the third question is, how are you together with your team going to grow? Because you have to work cooperatively. It's not a one-man band. It's about having a group of superstars working towards a common goal, and that is to achieve whatever the organization goals are, and to make sure that the vision that the organization has is a lived one, and a one that becomes a reality at some point. So you must have fun doing that, and hopefully you'll be able to share that information with me. What I'm going to do is I will put a note in the description box below and put down those very same questions that you can print out and perhaps use it and pass it on to your team. And then if you have any other suggestions, let me know. Just drop me a comment or a suggestion in the suggestion box below. If you like what is happening on the channel, give me a big thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss out on any of future videos, then do subscribe so that all the videos are right there for you. Now, all I have to say is you must continue flying along those corridors, keep flipping your staff rooms, and create magic in all the spaces that you find yourself. Till next time.